Hi, this is Brendan Caron with Apartment Gym Reviews. We have a video today about basically utilizing your space in such a way that is maybe going to save the space a little bit more, but also in a way that's going to save you from your neighbors. Okay, so one of the issues you're going to run into in any home gym environment is keeping the space clean and keeping the space so that it is considerate to people around you. As much as we all want to just get into the gym, smash weights, and have a good workout, it's not always the easiest, especially if you're in, again, an apartment gym situation. So one of the things that I did that made the space far more enjoyable for training, but also made it so I didn't have to consider what I was doing with every single movement so much, is I got some mats, some gym mats. We've all probably seen gym mats before. If you've been in any CrossFit gym, if you've been in any powerlifting gym, a lot of different types of gyms have been using these over the last decade, maybe decade and a half. They've become really popular, but it's just straight up gym floor mats, stall mats, whatever it happens to be. Okay, so a few different styles of matting. Like I said, I went with a heavier gauge one. My thought process with that is, again, I'm trying to be considerate to the people around me, but I'm also trying to create the best training environment for myself. So I don't have to be too careful with all my movements. I can really just sort of like get into my training a little bit more, whether I'm deadlifting in here, whether I'm using the kettlebells, dumbbells, maybe dropping a sandbag, even rowing. I've used a heavier gauge mat and it's deadened the sound quite significantly. I've talked to my neighbors. They don't even notice anything anymore, actually, to be honest. And even putting things down in the apartment now compared to before, it's night and day difference. I went with the 6 foot by 4 foot 3/4 matting. And again, I did it for all the reasons I just mentioned, but it's also going to last forever. That's a really thick gauge of mat. And once I'm done using it here, I'll take it to the next gym and set it up there. Same way. It's an investment that's going to last forever as far as having a home gym goes. And if you're the type of person, like a lot of home gym owners are, that you want to continue building this thing going forward, this is a good investment. Happens one time, makes the environment that much better. For me, the room I really wanted to set up with was 11 feet by 17 feet. And overall, that cost me about $680. Sounds like a lot. But honestly, again, it's an investment in yourself. Depending on each person, you might be able to get cheaper, more expensive, depending on where you're coming from. So 6 foot by 4 foot, 3/4 inch. A couple of the other options were 6 foot by 4 foot, half inch. And then we had 6 foot by 4 foot, 1/4 inch. I also found some that were 4 by 4, 1/4 inch as well. For our needs, it just wasn't great to have the 1/4 inch because it wasn't going to be robust enough over the long term. It also wasn't going to deaden the sound as much. And I felt like moving forward, it wasn't going to be the right choice for the future home gyms. Now, the price difference on a 4 by 4 1/4 inch was substantial. Each of those mats, we were looking at like $30 a piece, maybe 40, which is great. That's really cheap for some floor matting. Like if you're looking at just maybe setting up a space for some cardio or some light dumbbell work or anything like that, and you don't plan on lifting heavy in that space, you're saving that for maybe going to your normal gym, that might be a great option for you. Really economical, really easy to move and install. 4 by 4 1/4 inch mat is really light. You can do that by yourself and probably have it done in a pretty short period of time. The 6 foot by 4 foot 3/4 inch is really heavy, and doing it on your own, it's not the easiest, but you can do it, and we'll talk about that going forward. The 6 foot by 4 foot half inch, it really wasn't that much more economical, to be honest. Like with how much the price was for the 3/4 and the half inch, it made no sense to really like drop down in quality or at least gauge of matting, given that it was only like maybe $10 cheaper per mat, depending on where you're looking. The most I found them for was up to like $195. And again, only about $10 cheaper per mat for the half inch. The cheapest I found it for was the $59. That was plus tax, no delivery. The $195 was plus tax with delivery. And ours, we actually acquired ours for $85 per mat, no tax, with delivery. And again, Google, right? Check out what's available around you. It's going to be different depending on where your location is. Secondhand market, also another option that's pretty good for you. Yeah, so this one just happened to kind of fall into our lap. We looked around, we found it in secondhand market, unused, but someone was looking to get rid of a stack of it, and we kind of lucked out. Okay, so we got 8 mats for our space, which ended up so that we actually used every single one of those mats to fill. Again, it was 11 feet width, 17 feet in length. Total install time, and this is factoring in the amount of time it took us to get it up from the bottom level, 28 floors up into the sky, only 2 people handling it. It took us about 5 hours total install, and that wasn't like grinding ourselves to the bone to get it up here. We had a coffee break, some snacks, put on some music. It was a good time. Moved all the furniture around, did all the measurements to cut the mats that we had to cut, and then got it installed. And honestly, it looks really nice. It's really tight together. It brings the room together actually quite nice. It's a pretty unique look for an apartment, and it's turned out really well for us. I'd say, like, I don't know, 6 out of 10 difficulty for an install. It really wasn't too bad. It was just like, move all the furniture to one side, do some matting. Move all the furniture to the other side, do some matting. It was actually a pretty good time. So if you're going to be installing these mats, you're going to need a few things. You're going to need a few tools to help you to get the job done. You don't need a lot, really. Again, 1 person can get the job done. 2 people just makes it that much easier. You're going to need measuring tape. You're going to need a cutting tool. We just used a simple X-Acto knife. I think we cut it at the dollar store and it worked perfectly. And then you're going to need a straight edge, something to make sure you're cutting exactly along the line you are, so that you've got nice tight corners when you line up the mats inside your own space. We had 8 in this space, and we had to cut off about a foot on the long end just to get it all done. A few hacks for cutting through the mat, because again, if you're getting 3/4 inch matting, it is pretty thick. You're not going to get through with the blade on the first shot. The way to do it, set your measurements, get your straight edge, and then just score along the side. Score along that line that you've cut, just little lines, little lines. If it's a really long cut, I would even suggest just like maybe going halfway through the measurement, scoring through, and then you'll notice that like you can get deeper with every shot. After that, if you've got that second person and you're going for that last cut, get them to just slightly pull on the part that's being cut away, the smaller part that's being cut away, and then do your final cut, and it comes apart with like butter. It's so easy, and again, it's made a huge difference in our training. As far as things that like in an apartment, in a home gym, if you're looking to save space with your investment, something that doesn't take up a lot of space but makes your training far more effective, it's hard to argue with matting on your floor, right? Like, it makes the space so much more usable. Anyone who's worked out in a powerlifting gym, who's worked out in a CrossFit gym, knows how nice it is to be able to work out on this floor, and just the grip it gives you, the confidence it gives you when you're putting weights down on the floor and things like that. It takes it just that next level, and it takes up no space. It's the floor. We already had the floor here. Now it's just a better floor, and it took us $680 to install with 2 people, and it's coming with us. It's not staying in the apartment. It's not for the building. It's for us, and it's coming with us after this. It's fantastic. Final trick I want to give you guys, those of you who perhaps watch Alan Thrall, I was watching some of his videos from Untamed Strength. He was doing his mat setups on his own, and one of the tricks he used is he basically took a large cylinder. I think it was like a PVC pipe that was open in the middle, but it was cylindrical and maybe 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch. He would put the mat over that, so it kind of stretched out the mat over top of that, and then he would score his line there, and it would just sort of naturally split apart much easier. If you don't have a second person with you to help pull the mat apart while you're doing your cuts, that works fantastically as well. Okay, that's about it for the video. I hope you found these tips and tricks helpful. I know that a lot of people are trying to set up a really solid gym environment at their home. Given the COVID-19 circumstances, again, I think the floor matting is a great option. If you have any questions, if there's anything else you want to see going forward, we're looking to put out a new video basically every week to answer some of your questions and to give people maybe a little bit of help setting up their own space moving forward. If you like the video, and please subscribe. This has been Brennan Caron with Apartment Gym Reviews. Talk to you later.